Hello everyone, welcome to your live stream. I'm sorry, what is happening? Hi, nice bye? Just like that. Just like that. And why is Remco as well saying have a good one? Is no one going to join in today? Or am I just streaming for myself? Well, to be fair, most of the time I am. Okay. Today we're gonna do something kind of different, not too different. First things first. Oh my goodness, where did this cough from? Make it, now's not the time to cough. Hi there, Alem, how you doing? So, today we'll be doing the usual. Kind of. In a way, you'll see. Yum. So. First things first, the video. I've been working on it in the background. Believe it or not. This entire time. I have the full thing fully edited with all the animations, audio and music up to 3 minutes right now, which may not seem like a lot, but trust me, it's gonna speed up slightly from here. Oxygen right here. In this case we need this, and we need an animation where oxygen appears. So, oxygen will be what? I'm so confused. Level to 0 like this, and then it will be electron cloud. Alt P, keep transformation. Alt G, Alt S, Alt R. Just Alt on everything, and then this right here will also be like so, with clear keyframes. And then 100 and... Actually 100 could be... No, let's do 110. And then we just keep transform, and then we're just going to, right here, we need them to have 16. Well, I don't know why I'm keeping the... Actually, you can't even see the nucleus. I don't know why I'm keeping the amount of nucleons accurate. No one cares. Oh well. There we go. Hi, the macaroni. How you doing?
Hi.
Not to get lucky. And then let's move it by minus 0.7. Yeah, that should be fine. Then we can move it backwards by 3. Because the whole point here will be that first of all, these will need a different shade. Right here we have been so far using this complicated formula for the color, or for the brightness rather. But the reason why we won't be using it is because, well, that was basically calculating the distance between each point and the very specific constant point, which was fine for us previously when our entire thing was sitting at 0, 0, but the same would be sitting at 0, 0, and since we can't really get the location of an object, right? Object info. Like, we can get the location of an object, but due to how meta shapes work, unfortunately, it will only work for the first object. Which means that if I take this, do vector math, and we do distance, from texture coordinates, like this, then if we plug it in, exactly, we don't really get much of anything.
Lo-fi macaroni to listen and study to ASMR.
Okay. Good for you.
What does that mean?
Damn it,
Guys, what did she mean by that?
I had something for a second. I very much did not. Yeah, because this will be just dependent on the distance of this from the origin right now. Yeah, exactly.
Who are you talking to?
Me?
What? Schizophrenia.
Like, you're asking me who I'm talking to?
Yes.
No one. I'm just describing what I'm doing currently. That's,
To
I'm streaming.
the
That's
one
the
other
whole thing.
person that is watching.
Yeah.
Like only one person is watching except for me.
Yeah, because the older alternative would be for me to sit in silence. Then someone's gonna join in, see that I'm sitting in silence. It's gonna be awkward. They're gonna leave. It's for keeping continuity of life.
This is so sad. This just feels so sad.
I don't know. I spent the
We could
first
be-
300
We
days
could be
doing this.
here
I'm just sad.
discussing the morality of murder, but you just describe what you're doing.
Yeah, but so could everyone else on the planet discuss the morality of murder. Not everyone on the planet can be dealing with geometry nodes and Blender.
Actually, everybody on the planet could be dealing with geometry nodes right now. You just don't
No.
know it yet.
No,
You just
because
wouldn't
they don't
know
know
it.
enough about them.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Like, really sure?
Yeah, I am, because I'm actually dealing with shader nodes and not geometry nodes. They didn't even point it out.
Alright. How did you know that I didn't know that? How would you know that?
Sucks. That's what we'll have to do.
Ignores the question.
No, I just got distracted a bit.
Sure, buddy.
A very specific problem we've been having with this. And it's gonna be based on the object. This, then once again, the situation gets even worse. If there was like a global coordinate. Hi there, one guy. How you doing?
Hi, one guy. Yes, that is my name.
How is your day going?
Again, with those questions, with those hard questions. Why are you asking them?
It's called an icebreaker. That's what it's
How
called.
are you supposed to answer those?
Well, you're supposed to answer by what has been going on in your day. It's good. How about you? See, that one guy didn't struggle. How about me? Not bad. I've been spent the entire day working so far, and I've been working on like a timer thingy that we'll get to in a second. But first, I want to set up this more properly, which I could do with the object. But the issue with the object is that it's tied to the like a parent of the whole meta shape, which is not what we want. Worst case scenario, we could just do camera. It's gonna look wacky later, but for now, it's gonna look fine. So,
Oh, hi there, Macaroni in chat.
yeah, let's do it free right.
See? It's that easy. You can just not ask how somebody is doing.
Because someone
Just
just voice
don't.
chat with you, you prick.
You just don't ask them.
Yeah, this should be fine. And then all we need to do is just oxygen right here. 0, 0, 0.
See, somebody's agreeing with me. Macaroni is agreeing with me.
Oh, that is messed up.
What, that Macaroni is agreeing with me?
No. The way that meta shapes work in Blender.
Yup, that's fucked up. Today on How Fucked Up is Fucked Up.
There we go. Hi,
Yep.
the generic person. Before this, I'm making a hum up because has it already been almost 50 days? Half of 100. That's incredible. Well, time does fly by when you're having fun, doesn't it? There is one thing that I have been working on before the stream. Hold on, I need to turn on everything in my lab shop. Oh, now you should be able to either see it better or I need to. Oh no, you can just see it better. That's brilliant. This right here. I'm just trying to make a little timer. Want to do a bit of a tutorial on how to do practical stuff with electronics and such. And this felt like a good enough of a start. However, I'm not entirely confident on the audio amplifier side of the story. I feel like the audio amplifier could be ever slightly problematic, and I don't know if it's due to my supreme solder work, which is so supreme that I can just pull out this wire right here, right now with my bare hands. And I can also pull out this one right here with also... Oh, never mind, this one is...
Generic person is saying that it's day 47 of begging Make It to make math become difficult part 2, and Macaroni is asking for day 5 of asking Make It to change the mass of the proton. Which will come first?
Question. Yeah, the solder work is just so phenomenal that I can just pull all of these out of my bare hands, which is how you know it's it's good.
That one guy asks if coffee is your best friend.
No, if coffee is a YouTube's best friend.
Yeah,
Why
exactly. That's what I
tease?
said.
I'm not YouTube.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I think if I was YouTube, I would have fucking 70,000 subscribers. John YouTube has way more subscribers than that.
Also, hi, Diaz.
Hi, DS, how you doing? Okay, there we go. I'm drinking, by the way, tea right now, so you can sod off.
So, tea, you made tea in your tea kettle.
Yeah.
You used to make coffee in.
No, I tried making coffee in it once.
Yeah, you tried making coffee in it.
Failed miserably.
In your tea kettle.
7 found dead, 8 wounded.
This is real science done by real scientists.
Okay, there we go. I pulled up all these cables. Now we're back with just 2 lovely audio amplifiers. They're so convenient with the dev boards. How many people don't like tea? It freaking slaps. Has anyone ever said that they actually dislike tea? I've never heard anyone say that they actively dislike tea. In worst case
My
scenario,
sister doesn't like tea.
like
She
okay,
hates tea.
but but important distinction. Does she like because in English that's the one thing that always bugged me. When she says that she doesn't like tea, does she mean that she doesn't like it or she dislikes it?
She hates it.
Oh, she hates it. Why?
She hates tea. I don't know. But she likes matcha.
I don't know what that is.
Me neither. Probably because she's a woman.
Whoa. Pump the hate break, sweet cheeks.
No, you see, I'm a certified woman hater.
There used to have a joke on this channel that was just openly sexist.
Are you sure? No, my sister can actually attest to that.
That's not a good thing. That is not a thing to brag about on the internet.
Why?
Wow, did you know I actually hate people based on how they were born? Wow.
No,
Good for
it's
you.
not that I hate the people that are women. I hate the concept of women.
Now you won me over. Because I agree with you there.
Yeah, see?
I hate the concept of gender.
No. I just hate the concept of women.
Oh no, you lost me again. I'm thinking how to test this in a non-invasive way. Because we could actually resolder everything again. But I'm not tempted. I can also do this. But it's gonna be a bit tricky because it's slightly misconnection and it's going to... I'm gonna fry something, worst case scenario. Of course. Or we could tap the pins. Oh, that's another thing we could do. We tap the pins with signal and then just see how the speakers respond. I'm missing a jump cable. Shit. Do I have any more lying around? Of course I do, my beloved. Matcha is like fancy grass, not gonna lie. So weed? Or do you mean like tea?
No.
Don't make me look up matcha now. Oh, damn yous. Why do you always make me look up stuff? Okay, there we go, there we go. Then one last thing which we need is this right here. And this right here. And then this. We missed a connection, or we connected some things incorrectly, should be everything that we need. And now all we should need is this. Oh, the frequency is still going. Well, that's convenient. So all I should need to do is just pop the power supply on. You can hear it! The mosquito! Oh, brilliant! Oh, brilliant, oh, brilliant, oh, brilliant. There we go. Now let's see if we can make it louder. Let's get some... No, but we can change the frequency. Ta-da! It lives, it breathes. Oh, let me just record it one more time. There we go. It honestly looks awful, doesn't it? This entire setup right here. Absolutely heinous looking. But it works, which is, well, more than half the battle in this case. What language is that? This is Python. This is just normal, ordinary Python. Well, MicroPython, but same difference. Okay, so now what we're going to do is trivially simple and easy. There we go. We might need to use 4.5 volts actually in the future with the batteries, so that's also something I probably should have tested, but oh well. Now what we're going to do is trivially easy, because you see, what I want to do is I want to build something. I'm bored, you see. I am bored of just all the theoretical chemistry videos. It gets exhausting. It takes a toll on you, all I'm trying to say.
It gets exhausting.
And as such, I want to do something practical, something fun. So what we're going to do is, we're going to take this right here, Raspberry Pi Pico 2, this right here, Raspberry Pi Pico 2, this speaker, this audio amplifier, this 7-segment display, this 7-segment display, this I2C OLED display, and this I2C OLED display, and we're going to just build two timers. Two of them. One of them which I can use for cooking or, you know, doing stuff normal, and the other one which I could implement into a separate circuit if I was ever trying to build something. And that's why I'm going to end the sentence. Anyway, let's get to it. So, in order to build this whole thing, what we'll need is first we'll need to make a semi-detailed models of all of these components, just to get the sense of scale. Then once we have that, we can model what they will actually need to be like. I'll need to also desolder these pins, which is a pain. Certainly, it absolutely always is a pain desoldering the... What are the pins
I'm getting
called? Oh yeah, and switches as well. I couldn't find two switches of the same type, so we're gonna use different size switches, because I'm a professional, alright? Actually, I could use this white one and this one right here. Use a bit more modern. Yeah. I'll need to rewire it ever so slightly to actually use it, but... Well, them's the fun. You know. Actually, will I be able to use this? I genuinely don't actually know. I don't think so. I might need this, because we'll need to turn it on with and off of the Raspberry Pi, that is true. We'll also need a restart button, ideally. which, oh my goodness, the list of components only grows. Unfortunately, the restart button. Oh no, we don't need the restart button. We can just short the pins. That is true. We can just short the pins. Really convenient. All right then, let's get to it.
Normalize killing people. It's totally fine.
Daft Punk just has a way with words, truly. They really, truly do. Also, the animation was rendering, which means I need to, you know, do the thing. Whatever you say, Mac. I love the idea of calling macaroni Mac.
Mac and cheese.
I got some new boing sounds as well.
Boing.
Yeah, they're goofier. And I like them. I cherish them with all my heart. Oh, and in this case, we're gonna need 4 boings. Okay. Okay, 20. Then another 20 overlaid on top, and 2 more. 50, right? Should be 50. This. There we go. And as I did the math, also, oh, this is a different offset. This is offset of 5. Shit, alright, happens. Yeah, let's do 0.6. And then right here, this. This right here, no wait, this right here has to be offset by 5. I feel like I must have gotten it wrong. Simply because I assumed that it would have been an offset of 10 when it was in fact offset of 5, so obviously I got it wrong.
My god. What an idea.
There we go. I think we can offset these two ever so slightly further.
What?
There we go. Oh, what were you about to say?
What?
It sounded like you were about to say something.
I was reading whatever you say, Mac. What? I was just reading chat. I don't think the creatine is working.
What is creatine for?
Creatine is for thinking better and better muscle. Because like 10 to 20 grams a day are beneficial for brain function. Very beneficial, I should say. And
Make it Python or C++. If you only give me option between these two, I would choose Python. Because C++ is just an inferior version of C. So, it should be called C minus minus if anything.
wait, C++ is just how's it called? Just way more more like assembly. I don't know how to describe it. You know what I mean?
You mean lower level abstraction?
Yeah, lower level abstraction. Forgot the term.
Huh. Okay. Assembly.
Is it? Or is it not?
Is what?
C++ just C with lower level abstraction.
No, the opposite. Has a higher level abstraction.
Oh, so C is the most efficient.
Yes.
Then. And C plus is less efficient, and C is even less efficient than that.
I don't think C plus exists.
C plus exists? Doesn't exist? What?
I know, never heard of it.
I don't have the brain power for this anymore.
I said you were taking creatine.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on, let me turn off SolidWorks because it's... I did the thing where I clicked one button and now it cannot be stopped or halted in any way, shape or form.
What the fuck is this conversation? You were just asking me a question, I answered it, and you didn't follow up? What? Now there's silence.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get it. Is this what you mean when you say you don't get conversations?
No, I think it's a conversation pretty fine by now.
Yeah, but in how's it called? In theory, conversations in theory.
X to the minus x is greater than x to the x for x smaller than 1. Hence it can be argued that I is smaller than 1 since I to the minus I is greater than I to the I. Hi there, Ghostful. How you doing?
What?
I think you should... I don't know what you're taking, Ghostful, but you should either take more or way less. Because the amount you're
Take
taking
more.
clearly isn't working out for you.
Take more.
Okay, first things first, what we'll need is...
Yeah, I'm gonna check myself out real quick. Gotta go grocery shopping
Alright, good luck.
and kill myself.
That's not a great way to... not a great thing to say on a YouTube live stream.
Alright. Unalive myself.
Not better.
You wouldn't get it. See you next stream.
Bye.
Or the stream after that. When the next stream I catch.
Alright, bye.
Bye.
Okay. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to make a new folder. I'm gonna call it timer, or even better, text, because I want to be making just a whole bunch of new text stuff. And first we're gonna have a timer. So 1 point timer, and then we're going to have timer.assembly. Do you have an idea for day 1000? Make it. I don't. I still do not. I'm gonna figure something out. It's... now it's in 21 days, isn't it? Damn it, I'll need something. I know, we could build a drone. Call back! Holy shit, this time we actually could. I have stuff required to do it. Oh, I could... oh, damn it, we could actually. If an object moves in 99.99999% of the speed of light, then the kinetic energy of the object is k. What would be the speed of an object with kinetic energy k divided by 2? Are you talking about the relativistic kinetic energy? Because you're only talking about speed of an object with half the kinetic energy, but Just the kinetic energy normally isn't enough to determine the speed of an object. Unless that object is light, in which case I know the answer. I know at what speed the light travels. I have that power within me. Okay, first we're gonna make a part. So first we're going to do... should I do Raspberry Pi first? Raspberry Pico. Yeah, sure, why not? Okay. So first things first, we're going to model the Raspberry Pi Pico, which we could... Actually, I'm gonna unpack mine. I'm gonna just measure it all. I'm just gonna measure it all out for the sake of convenience, for the sake of accuracy. To make sure I don't mess anything up. Then, this will be effectively 20 by... by 51, is it? That's odd. Why not 50? This vexes me. Ah, damn it. 20 by 51. This and this, vertical, this horizontal. And that will be our base. I'm getting thickness will be around a millimeter. Or it could be, yeah, millimeter. Light's a particle and a wave, right? Yes. Particle which we model as a wave for the sake of convenience and usability, effectively. Dimensions only. Then on top we're going to have the holes. So where are the holes? Effectively we model it as a particle because we model as a point, but at the same time we model as a wave because that point is described using a wave function, which, as the name would suggest, is a function 10.5 that is the mathematical wave. This and this right here. I'm gonna guess these are M2s because why would they be anything else? In which case 2.5, let's say, would be fine. Then if we live in a society with reason, this should be a midpoint. Give me the midpoint. I cannot even with you. There we go. This right here should be the right height. I'll be honest, college sucks. Why is that? What happened? I think college sucks. Is that 1.5? Like 1.5. That looks like a 2 actually, even. Looks 2. Hi Diaz! Oh my goodness, I haven't seen you in such a long time! How you doing? I should probably consult the manuscripts for this. Wait, help me. If something can't go with the speed of light, then how the particle going that fast? So I have no mass or something. I'm trying to comprehend. Normally, the basic idea is if you want to accelerate something to the speed of light... Okay, basically, if you imagine a graph... This is going to be a bit of an artist's interpretation for the sake of simplicity and for the sake of not going into mathematics too much. If you imagine a graph of energy, right here, which tells us how much energy we need to accelerate something to a certain velocity, okay? So this is velocity starting at 0, ending at c, speed of light, and this is the energy, starting at 0, ending at infinity, going forever. Then that graph would effectively look something like this. Art is interpretation again, but the basic idea is that if you want to accelerate something to the speed of light, you need an infinite amount of energy. Not possible, therefore can't reach speed of light. Unless it's massless, in which case rules are different. And so, I don't know why I haven't come to the stream in so long. I don't know either, but I'm glad you're here now. Oh wait, I was supposed to consult the manuscripts, wasn't I? Yeah. IP code dimensions. Y-axis on the left. Don't tell me what to do, Ghostfall! I will draw that y-axis wherever I damn please, and there's nothing you can do to stop me. 21 by 51. Oh, so it's 21 by 51. I knew it looks somewhat odd. I mean, not gonna lie, this looks even less like, but whatever. Then we have 11.4. Where these are. I guess I checked because there's no way I would have measured 11.4 there. 11.4, and the distance between them and that is 2 millimeters. I really gotta stop turning that off. At least I got that one correct. That's nice. But then, how is the particle going that fast if it takes infinite energy? I'm so lost. Well, light can go that fast because light doesn't have mass. It's a bit more annoying to explain that, because in a sense light has mass. Okay, relativity is really advanced. These two have to be vertical, these two have to be equal, these two have to be horizontal, and this has to. Okay, brilliant. Then the distance from the midpoint to the edge appears to be still a 2, I think. I think it is a 2. There isn't really anything on the other side, so I'm gonna assume it means the same thing. Okay. Now, what else do we need? Ideally, we would like the pins. And ideally, I imagine would also like. Actually, there's another way you could do. No, well, there's another way you could slice this cake, but we're not going to, because that would be too convoluted for absolutely no reason. Simplicity sometimes can be good. Then all we need to do is just on the side a pin. Then that pin would be. Oh, jeez. A very annoying distance from everything. First of all, from the edge, it is 1.61. That's how far it is from the edge. Its radius, I'm gonna assume it's 1 millimeter. Yeah, it is. That's good. And then, how much is it from this edge right here? Well, that's going to be a tad more complicated question to answer, because the full length is 51. Minus 2 of them is 48, so it should be, if my math does me well, it should be 51 minus 48.26 divided by 2, which is 137. Why does light have... Sorry for my question. Does light... No. Basically, it's a different way. Basically, okay. Very basically, what you have to realize is that you have classical mechanical things, and then you have relativistic things. And relativistic energy, relativistic mass, it's slightly different from what we would typically consider mass. What I want you to consider is the fact that photon on its own, okay, its classical mass, let's call it, is equal to 0. It has no mass. However, this photon also has kinetic energy. And if you consider it from the perspective of classical mechanics, you know, with the whole E is equal to 1/2 mv squared, if I remember correctly, then it doesn't really make sense for the E of a photon to be greater than 0 when m is equal to 0, does it? Doesn't really make sense. That's why in relativity, basically you have the relativistic mass where like the closer something is to the speed of light, the more its mass changes. But that is way above my pay grade. So we won't get into that, hopefully. I don't know, we have to ask Remco. We need to wait for the relativistic live stream with Remco. The distance between two of them appears to be 2.54. So now what we can do is we can exit the sketch, we can extrude cut through it. And then we can sketch. Let's first do linear pattern. What direction are you going to? This. There we go. 2.54. Ah, piss off. 0.54. $320 of them, right? Let's see. Yes, there should be 20. That's good. And then we take this, and then we just mirror it. Beautiful. And then one last thing we would like is, I imagine, just that USB, you know, like a mock USB sort of thing. There we go. Simple. Mathematical is tried about something like that, approximate MF0 where M0 is the velocity of object. Lorentz factor, if I recall. These equations get so confusing because you always deal with, well, usually you deal with the observer and the observed, and that always threw me off like crazy when I was dealing with it. I once did research for this for a video of time dilation, and my goodness, those equations get annoying to interpret. Okay, brilliant. What we have here is I haven't studied quantum mechanics because they told it to me when me then ask what's the limit as V approaches C. I mean, but that is an interesting question to ask. That's kind of how we deal with relativity. The whole point is that you can never reach C. So it always has to be the limit. Unless our beloved tachyons exist. Ah. I love my tachyons. Okay, we have this. What else do we need? We need the 7-segmented display, which should be, well, hopefully a fair bit easier to make. It's 23 by 41. Remember those numbers, they will be very important. By 41. Okay. And right away I need to recheck if I actually remember those numbers correctly, because I might have not. One, that's correct. Then what we need is 1.5 millimeters away from the edge. It would appear 1.5 millimeters away from the edge. I'll just fold it and leave it. Okay. Don't you need me like tomorrow, but you're crazy. Or you... 1.5. Then the difference here will be that these in the middle will be all for construction. That's because they will house these bonus. Equal, and then their size has to be, I'm just gonna guess it's gonna be a 2.5. I honestly pure guess. And then we save it as TM1637 and extrude by 1 millimeter. Lovely, that is roughly what it would look like. There are pins on one side, which for now we're going to discard. But then what we need is the thing in the middle. Oh no. 3, so 13. 13 by 30. 13 by 30. Brilliant. What's your height? 8. 7. 1, 2, 7. Apparently perfect 7 millimeters. Alright, there we go, brilliant. Extrude by 7. So I'm making notes about complex numbers. How do I prove that e to the ix equal to cosine x plus I sine x elegantly and a way that makes it kind of natural to the reader? Oh, Ghost. Oh, Ghost, my dear. Ghost, my dear, Ghost, my dear. If only someone has made a video about complex numbers where they explain how e to the ix is equal to cosine x plus ix. I sine x. Yeah, I mean, this is the best explanation I have ever landed on. Maybe there is something better, but I will be brutally honest. I am really satisfied with this one. I mean, it's good. The geometry notes for this were also really fun. Ah, damn it. That was just really good animation to make. Okay. So there we go. Then on one side we would like the pins actually. Now I'm going to guess and imagine that there is actually a standard for the pins. That's not, it's going to be 1.65. So Someone is once again drag racing inside my window. Shut up. I watched it back in like Calc 1 style, now doing Calc 2 Slav and reach Taylor series, so explanation wouldn't make sense to a student who doesn't know Taylor series. I do what you get it. I mean, you can just explain Taylor series first. They don't really take that much of an explanation, do they? I don't honestly never gone into what's the big deal with Taylor series. And I don't know if that's because I don't understand them or if it's because I do understand them. They just seem implied. It's 8mm. Well, that's edge to edge. 1, 2, 3, 4. This. And this. This. We want all of them to be equal and for construction. Then we want all of these to be equal. 1mm. And then the distance from that, well, technically from the top of the first, so distance from here to here should be 7, I imagine. Right? Or did I get that wrong? Oh wait, one more thing. Right. This line right here. Not you, the other line. Okay, just let me... Jeez, that was way more difficult than it should have been. And then right click, select midpoint. I feel like you're selecting midpoint of the absolutely not the thing I'm asking. I am in hell. I am in hell. Give me the midpoint. None of this. I'm gonna delete that line. That's it. Yes, delete that line. I don't even. Yeah, keep it. Brilliant. You give me your midpoint. There we go. My goodness, that was way more difficult than it should have been. There we go. 7-segmented display. Isn't that lovely? And Vex plus I sin x equal y. Oh jeez. That's why I tell my grandchild know their maths. The computer didn't make it the midpoint. Machine! Heed my warning. You better give me the midpoint. Or else. Or else I'm gonna be very upset and be very mean of you. Okay. Now one last thing. Well, not one last thing. We're gonna need actually 2 more things. We'll need okay, so far we have the Raspberry Pi, so far we have the 7-segmented displays. Then we will have the OLED displays. You know what, hold on everyone, I'll be right back. Give me a second. Okay, and I am in fact back with you. Also another thing we need to do, because the animation finished rendering, and I can't just be wasting time, you know? I do have a video to make after all. So right here, we need to add in the animation. There we go. Add it more appropriately, like this, this, pitch. And right here what we need is collision of oxygen gas with hydrogen, then them breaking apart, and then them being reshaped by oxygen stealing back. I put velocity 1 higher than the speed of light, got a none. Yes, that's because if you get the Lorentz factor to be... In the Lorentz factor, if you increase the velocity above the speed of light, you get a negative number under a square root, which means you get an imaginary number. Which is why things above the speed of light don't make sense. Well, among other reasons. Okay, right here what we need is we need like a solid 12, 30, let's say, because why not? I'm really hungry. I'm dumb. I mean, this is pretty standard. Funny enough, only recently did I realize that Python apparently by default, if I remember correctly, supports complex numbers, which on one hand feels so intuitive, but on the other hand it's just so weird that it would. Why did you all have to... Damn it! I know it's happened. Fine, Bezier. This will fix. I need to change up the tempo of this entire animation because it's absolutely awful. I don't like how it pauses here. Okay, not bad. Could be better, could be worse. I'm giving it a pass. Numbers make me mad. Like, why do we need them only for rotation and negative square roots? Can you explain? Well, actually, we don't need them only for rotation and negative square roots. We only need them for rotation. Basically, that's because the classic example I always go for is that you cannot describe rotation without using complex numbers. You can try if you want, but you will always find yourself using complex numbers. And that's not really an only. That's a very large group of things you just get access to once you access rotation. Because what you have to realize is that rotation also means oscillation, which also means cyclical things, which also means if you increase a number and then you end up back where you started every single time in series, that's something you can only achieve with rotation. Normally you can't really do such a thing. You would need like an infinite polynomial, which is very... Well, it's yucky. It's yucky. It's disgusting. Infinite polynomials. Ew. Terrible. Who wants that sort of thing? No one does. Absolutely no one does. So I wouldn't exactly say only. I mean, only rotation, yeah, but that's a lot of things. L5, please. I don't know what L5 means. Well, I'm making myself some veggies because I'm hungry. I should go out to the store and buy some more food, but well, we're streaming, so you know. Would be poor manners of me. I mean, it already is poor manners for me to make myself some food without offering you any, but... Oh shit. Okay. My stove wasn't starting, so I was kind of worried. Hi, the Stump! Oh my goodness, I haven't seen you in a while as well! That was major source of my depression. That's why really often you can approximate, or even better, well, no, usually approximate. Infinite polynomials as other things, which is why they're fun. Well, those other things, not infinite polynomials. Give me a second, I'm almost done. I'm just adding the seasoning. Not none of them. X is equal to minus b plus minus square root of b squared divided by a2. Is that the quadratic formula? I don't know, I'm not good with mathematics. Why is calculus so far up in American curriculum? I don't know. I'll be brutally honest, I just do not know. This give it so much more applicability, like exponential vectors, complex numbers, Ghostfall. What's your language? We're being civil here. Okay. What else do I need? Audio amplifier. No, wait. Oh, the screen. Right. That'll be the next important thing. Do you sleep? Actually, let's call it SSD 1306 if my memory does me well. I think that was the number. Although I could be wrong. 21, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 26 by 26 by 26? Is that a square? Oh, how convenient. No, 26 by 27. It couldn't be a fucking square. (26 by 27). I'm gonna lose my mind. Absolutely unreasonable. Totally unpredictable. Alright, bye one guy, bye, have a good one. 26 by 27. Who comes up with this? Just do 26 by 26. 26 by 27. I don't even know which side is which. Which side was larger? I'm gonna guess this side, but it could just optical illusion. One, two, three, four, five, six. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7. 7 is height, and 6 is width. That's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Hi, the Tefta! You should have a new patron tier, be getting Make It merch, like Sherd when it comes out and sell merch too. Are you again trying to convince me to get... I might do something else too. I've never been a big fan of doing personally merge like that because it feels soulless. If I have a fun idea for merge, then obviously I'm gonna do it. But not for the sake of making merge, only for the sake of having a good idea. Alright. Then... Actually, what am I doing? I'm an idiot. Right here we can edit the sketch and we can just do it this way. Like a reasonable person. Vertical, okay. There we go, that's correct. And then we're going to have, once again, 1.5. 1.5. You could have something like that. Okay, got around by Tefta. That was really quick. Well, I cannot help but feel like Tefta had some kind of grander idea at play, but not enough time to share it. That was awfully quick. Alright, and then let's do 2.5. Ta-da! This is our screen. I don't know if it's actually 2.5 but 1 millimeter away. But this does look like half a millimeter, so... Just eyeballing it. Also, it doesn't appear to be quite equal, where at the bottom was more whatever. Close enough. I mean, actually it might not be whatever. Ah, shucks. Who would have thought that designing things could actually get difficult at times? $19, $18, $17, $16. 16 by 16 by 24. Remember those numbers again. 16 by 24. Okay, you don't have to remember them anymore. 16 by... Oh, that feels wrong. Oh, never mind, that is right. Yeah, okay. I looked really wrong for a second. That's simply because I apparently do not have a brain. Then, I don't think it's in the middle. But middle will be close enough, and it doesn't really matter. I'm just trying to have like a general overview. It doesn't have to be that exact. That's a waste of time. Okay, brilliant, splendid, phenomenal, fantastic, fantastic, lovely, and then I hate that 2 is prime, right? It doesn't, it so very shouldn't, doesn't feel like it would be. But at the same time, it kind of makes sense, you know? Because if 2 wasn't prime, then like 4 would be, ugh. No. Okay, so we have this. Create an equation that estimates prime numbers. Every time I think I'm close, fucking 2 is missing. Alright, what do we need now? Well, now we would need some kind of holder for all of them that we're going to design. Yes. I can't wait when they gonna open up that door. Let me think. Very briefly for a second, no more. Okay. We're going to make a new part. This part will be called the electronic skeleton. That's what it's going to be called. And then on this electronic skeleton, we will have everything. Absolutely everything. So we're gonna have it be like 50 by 50. It's not enough. Actually, now that I think about it, it has to be 60 by 50. And then what we need to do is we need to add in all of the components. Or rather, check out all the holes that all the components have and see how we're gonna implement them. In this case, it's flat on the bottom. Oh, that's so convenient. Goodness gracious me. That is so unbelievably convenient. What is the distance between, just out of curiosity? Actually, you know what? No, screw it. This can't change it. Next it, yeah. What is the distance between these two? 47. 47 and 11.4. Okay. So 47 and 11.4 is what we want. Right now all we're going to do is we're gonna just set it up. So just to see if we got the measurements right. It's lagging like crazy. Hi there, Greg! Why is everyone all of a sudden now joining in? You've been gone for such a long time. Let's do 2.5. That's what I'm gonna guess this will be. And then, what was it? It was 47 and 11.4. 47 and 11.4. 47 and 11.4. There we go. This should be for the raspberry. Next what we'll need is this. My bad. Hey, I'm not complaining. I get it. You all have important stuff. 38. And then we're going to also have, give me 20. Alright, 38, 20. That's fairly easy to remember. Can I just copy paste? Huh. How convenient. 38. It feels kind of wrong that the segmented display would be larger, but at the same time, like, I guess I can kind of see it. Whatever. We have this, and then one last thing, which is one last thing, which is the. Because if I'm more sleep aid. Hi, the Dark Knight. I suppose you're welcome. I don't know what else to say. $23. And then $24. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Makes sense that it could be 23 and 24, considering how they are 26 and 27 for some reason, but whatever. 23 and 24. Cannot be pasted here. Why? Oh, you are joshing me. My goodness, why is everything so slow? (23) and 24. Make it. I have a grand idea. Add the peltier cell to the mask, because I can scan the cold radiator. Hook the measly power output of the generator into the charging IC. You want me to charge my mask of my life force? Hi, Detector, by the way. That's so dumb. I might just do it because I think I'm already gonna use the peltier cell for something else. Because I already had the grand idea of making a flamethrower that will cool your beer. So unfortunately I do believe that one is taken. I will need to get another one. Such a fun component. I absolutely adore that little thing. Okay, in this case we can delete the midpoint. It's not really necessary. We can just move it. Oh my goodness, why is this so slow? There. Stay here. No, hold on. Shit, I mean, just... Ah, fuck. I mean, piss. I mean, gosh dang it. Dag nabbit. Ah, bent it all. Damn it. Ah, damn it, I bent it all. It's fine. It's absolutely fine, nothing to worry about, just need to... There we go. I've salvaged the situation. Worst case scenario, I'm gonna need a child. I don't mind. How are you doing, Testa?
Oh, good. I'm on my lunch break. I just wanted to bug you for a little bit.
Oh, absolutely, please do. How's the day going so far?
It's insane. Super busy, but I'm doing a lot of cool stuff. How are you?
Me, I'm good as well. Right now I'm making a timer. That's because basically on the Make It Tech channel, one of the dead channels, that I have, basically I want to start making a couple more practical things over there. And this is my first project, which is just a simple timer.
Just don't have it be a countdown timer.
It is going to be a countdown timer. But it's going to be a countdown timer with a 7-segment display, OLED display, audio amplifier, and speaker. And that's just for the sake of getting through the basics of like I2C, pulse modulation, stuff like these. Yeah.
It'd be funny if your videos show up on the dark web for how to build electronics.
The whole joke is that I'm building two of them, and the whole will be that one of them I'm gonna keep for cooking and stuff like this, and the other in case I ever need to build a different kind of device. I might actually use it in the videos if I ever need a bit of drunk myself building a bomb. Then
you should power it from 16 18650s.
Oh yeah, like a
Right?
completely unnecessary massive power supply.
Yeah, just because it would look like something else. But just imagine 16
I know
18650s.
I know how much I
behind it.
should joke about that because I do have nitrate salts. So if I if I wanted to, I don't. You know what? Doesn't matter. Irrelevant. The point is,
Or you could just power it from a liquid. So it doesn't use batteries, it uses a chemical reaction in two containers in order to power itself.
and then even better, they're those containers are lit up from the bottom. So
Yeah,
so you can see them flowing together. And then just leave it somewhere in the city just for people to wonder what's up.
Yeah. It's an art experiment.
That could only end well, I am certain. Ready models. Alright, there we go. Electronic skeleton step. I just like if I can just do this whole thing on the fly now. It's fun. Because I mean, I just started this today and I already have all the things figured out and already tested all the connections on the breadboard. Right now I'm designing the skeleton, so it's just really easy, it's nice. If I ever wanted to build a bomb, then I'm not saying I would do it. All I'm saying is that my DMs are open. I do need money on this show, and so... Hi, the YouTube demonetization team! Go ahead, demonetize these streams. See you, Vika. Not making anything of them anyway.
Yes, it is true that batteries are chemical reactions.
I just like this fact that Olo said get a load of this guy because it's just funny, pun.
But you're making your own battery as opposed to using a factory-made battery.
That would be with the Peltier cell though. That would be so fun because I already love the idea that Utefta gave me of just reversing polarization. I could do it with motor driver.
Yeah.
So I can either cool the mask or heat it up. But then if I could also implement it in a way so that I could just turn it off and use it for powering, it would be idiotic because I mean, I'm pretty certain charging circuits have a minimum voltage, right? That
You can actually create there's a name for it. 1 second. It sounds like vampire, but it's like a vampire circuit. What it does is it uses like an inductor, some capacitors, and some kind of transformer to step up the voltage. But it's a way to use a very small input, but steady, to create a higher output. But of course, you're limited by amperage, so you would have to charge it for like a day in order to get an hour out.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there are circuits that do that.
Get a load of this guy is the only reason why I commented. I mean, it would be fun. I might be adding this sort of thing as well. I'm gonna definitely, because the thing is, my mask is spreading over my body, right? I'm already gonna have a mask on my head, I'm gonna have speakers on my shoulders, I'm gonna have another thing on my arm that's also coming. I just like the idea of just strapping more and more things I make to myself. One of these being this timer, for absolutely no reason, just, because I can. Even better, oh no, wait, would a UART connection? Well, that's tricky, because a UART connection can only function between two devices, right?
I do not know the answer to that one.
I believe that might be it.
I don't.
I mean, the UART is kind of very rare that someone actually... You use USB more often than UART normally. UART is just the USB for pretentious people. That's why I use it. But what I could do is I could do it with I2C. I could just have whole bunch of these devices, and on each one of them just get an access point via I2C, and then just put them all on my body and just connect them together on a single line.
Kind of like a CAN bus.
CAN bus? I don't know what that is.
A CAN bus is what a lot of engineers or robotics use. And it's kind of the same thing where you wire up everything.
Bus BOS.
Yeah, so it's a CAN, C-A-N, bus.
Bus. I see now why bus. Okay. Exactly.
Yeah. Well, Tesla, their cars, they actually decided to use a type of CAN bus, and everyone was freaking out because if one of the connections is severed, all the sensors go down.
That's risky.
Yeah.
For vehicles.
So it'd be interesting to have like a redundant CAN bus system where you have like two wires.
Well,
and,
I imagine I don't see why you wouldn't be able to just have more wires, because if you have a data line and a clock line, if you have 3 data lines and 3 clock lines, then they would should still function the same.
Yeah, exactly. So you could have redundancies built in by extra cables, maybe ran in different routes or something. But I thought it'd be a fun engineering challenge.
I mean, that would be really neat, because then on my spine, actually, I could have going down a power line, ground line, data, and clock. For
Jewel thief. That's what it's called. It's called a jewel thief circuit.
Oh, the vampiric one.
Yeah, jewel thief. I don't know how jewel thief turned into a vampire.
No, I can see the connection, like taking away, sucking away. I see.
But they're really cool because you can do some very interesting stuff with a jewel thief circuit, but they're specifically made for what you're talking about. So it's like the keyword that will open up a whole bunch of source material for you if you ever want to do that.
Jewel Thief. I do need to get more into electric stuff. With electronic, I feel confident at this point, considering how easily I've managed to implement I to S into my mask. I am feeling really quite confident with electronics by now. But with electric, for some reason I'm lagging behind, which is weird. I'm doing theoretical physics videos. I should be struggling to connect a 7-segment display, and I should be making coil guns in my free time, not the other way around.
Yeah.
Oh, you are? Oh, yeah, I was checking if you're...
The money and math are difficult for me, right? Because a lot of the stuff with, how did you put it? Not electronics, but electrics, whatever. It's I have some ideas that I want to do, but every time I'm like, oh, that's so much math and calculation, then I end up giving up. I'll just program a microcontroller.
I mean, yeah, exactly. I like the electric stuff though, because it's a very it's like a spectrum of like chemistry to there's this certain vibe. I remember when I was talking with Flame was really worried about his research that he would lose this like chemical aspect of it, where it feels like alchemy, right? You're just mixing things together and just making stuff. There's the two aspects of science. The first one, the practical, when you're actually mixing stuff together and you feel like a wizard, and then the other one where you actually need to get like the science done, and so you actually need a computer microcontroller and need to get it done. Have you watched a wireless power desktop cable video by DIY Perks? It's really fun. Wireless power. Wait, wireless power? Oh goodness gracious me.
Yeah, I've seen that one. It's pretty cool. It like operates within a certain dome of the emitter, and you have like different receivers that you can connect to electronics, and they have different wattage. I think you can send quite a bit, like 30 watts or something.
I remember that the idea of like wireless power has existed for a really long time, but I never looked into it, to be honest. Is it just like, wait, see, that's where I'm struggling, because in my head, if I had to guess how to wirelessly transmit power, photons would be the obvious choice. But on the one hand, you have
Well, all of them are photons.
yes, but on the one hand you have like higher than visible spectrum, which gets dangerous if you go there. Unless it's like really, really high? No, then it would still be dangerous. On the other hand, you have lower than visible spectrum, which wouldn't have enough energy.
But I think most of it is a transformer is wireless. Every transformer,
Wireless power.
right? Because the different coils on a transformer aren't connected.
Yes.
So I think what they just do is they just have a coil of a certain frequency matched with a coil of a certain frequency on the other side. And of course, the inverse square law is what limits it, because there's a lot of loss with heat but the frequency makes sense. If you could tune an antenna or a coil at a certain frequency, it would be more receptive. So the likelihood of something matching that resonant frequency would be not very likely. I'm assuming that's the base mechanics behind it.
Separating electric charges are on electric wire create time-varying electrical fields. These fields can exert oscillating forces on the electrons entering antenna, causing them to move back and forth. Well, I mean, this makes sense, but this is the typical principle of like every detector is a voltage generator, right? That's the basic principle behind. So this makes sense, but
and every radio, before they had radios that didn't even need batteries. Right.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
You literally are tapping into them. And you can also tell how many people are listening to a radio station based off of how much power the transceiver has to pump out. Because every time someone taps in, it reduces the signal. So you can calculate the power consumption on the actual emitting antenna of a radio tower to tell how many people are listening in. Yeah, that's how do you think they could tell how many people were tuning into the TV back in the days? It's the same thing with wire, right? So when you plug into the circuit, let's say there's only one generator running, that generator now has to work against, you know,
Oh, sorry.
electromagnetism.
Quantum
in
mechanics is what it is. Because let's think about from classical mechanics for a second, all right? You have
Yeah.
a transmitter. It emits the signal. It
Yeah.
just sends them out. It has no way to actually know how many things receive that signal.
Yeah, it does, because it is taking some of the power from the source. Right? Yeah. Look it up.
But exactly,
It's
in
one of
order
those
for it
things
to
where
take
I
the
didn't
power in
believe
the
it.
force, yeah, no, I get what you mean, because it makes sense, but that's like quantum mechanics.
Essentially, I guess you're right. Yeah. I did not like the idea when someone told me
Okay,
that. I'm
so
like, there's no way.
Yeah, because like if you think about it from the perspective of classical mechanics, that's effectively the equivalent of like you throwing around 50 balls into the air, and then being able to figure out how many of them someone picked up. Like you can't because you threw the balls already. However, if you throw them into the air, oh, this is way above my pay grade. That's wild. Being able to figure out how many people are receiving a signal doesn't feel like something that should exist.
Yeah. But how did TV stations back in the day know how many people were watching an episode?
I mean, I believe
That's what
you,
Yeah.
but I believe you, but it doesn't make it any less shocking.
I might be wrong. I'm having to ask AI because someone told me that and I didn't believe it.
I'm thinking about how it would work. I mean, maybe because maybe like if it was virtual. No, that's wacky. If that is true, then it would be really cool, actually. Okay. If I on an I2C network, that is something you will be able to tell me.
No, I think AI is saying that I'm wrong. I don't know where I heard
thank
that.
goodness, because in order for
Yeah.
it to be right, what would have to effectively happen is the entire size of the signal that it was sending, that would have to still be a single, effectively like a wave function, which collapse would be visible. Oh, this wacky. It would have to be really wacky. It's something that like. Okay, I know that I always bring up solid state chemistry, but in metallic bonding, that's how I thought it would work. We were like the energy level of a metallic bond, but I'm really glad it doesn't, because that
Yeah.
would have shattered a lot of concepts in my head. Oh yeah, I was gonna ask a question. That's something you will be able to tell me. On an I2C
So maybe
network,
someone was punking me
they,
and I believed it.
That's-
I feel bad now.
thank goodness, no, thank goodness that we checked.
Yeah.
Because that's how that's how misinformation spreads. Someone tells fun fact to someone else it brings up to an influencer, and the influencer just spreads it on the internet. So the thing is, we check, does the TV only know how many viewers it has when no one is looking? Shut up, Greg, not again! We've been over this. But Tefta, on an I2C network, there can be an
Yeah.
arbitrary, there aren't really like restrictions on masters and slaves, right? You can,
No.
Yeah, you can just send data,
The-
receive however you want.
I mean, yeah, the only important thing is it is a pain in the butt to assign an address to a device, right? And so the only thing that I2C requires is a unique address for each device. Now, you really want a device that has pins dedicated to changing the address, because some of them require you to communicate really low level to the chip in order to change its address, and like the memory is volatile, so don't even try. So the answer is yes, as long as each device has a different address.
But that's not bad because on a Raspberry Pi Pico there are two different I2Cs. And so what I can do is I can have master I2C, slave I2C, and then what I can do is I can, on the main data line, I'm gonna call it a data line because canvas, right? You said?
Yeah.
There we go. See, I listen. But I'm gonna have a main data line, and the data line will go to Raspberry Pi Picos onto the I2C one, and then basically whenever I connect everything to power, I'm going to have the master device, which will be the Raspberry Pi 5, send out a signal on I2C, basically asking every single device on that network what it is, and that way I'll be able to like dynamically hook up the addresses. And on the other networks, well, it won't really matter because they'll be extremely static. Nothing will change in them. So hopefully the addresses will be constant.
Yeah.
It's never good when you have to say hopefully something will be constant in electronics, but hey, that's where I am at right now.
Yeah, so like I was trying to get some I2C ADCs, analog to digital converters, and anyways, long story short, I had to find one with enough pins that I could address it differently for open muscle. So I ended up not. And I2C has a limitation of data throughput, right? But
And what is limitation actually?
I don't know. I2C data limitation throughput. Throughput limitation. What the heck? 100 kilobits a second. That's in standard. High speed is 3.5 megabits per second. It requires a special controller.
Wait, but there's no how many kilobits?
Well, the maximum is 3.4 megabits.
Yes, but
but
that's for specialized. And
for fast mode plus, it's 1 megabit. And then for fast mode, like normal, it's 400 kilobits a second. It's the most common.
400 kilobits, not that bad. Could
No.
send you once. Actually, on the Picos 2, I could have the faster one even. I would need to check.
But I like the NRF, the Nordic microcontrollers. They have the wireless 2.4 gigahertz frequency that does 2 megabits per second pretty well, which is pretty cool, over 2.4 gigahertz.
Oh, I'm an idiot. That's not how you do it at all. Damn it. Because I need to revolve both base, yes, which means I need to discard changes and exit. Yeah, okay. I need this. I like you can just select infinite length in SolidWorks as if it's a normal thing. Ah, shucks. Alright, it printed, so let's test it.
I still think it's cool that TVs use the electricity network for the timing. That's still crazy.
Like AC for the timing?
Yeah.
I do have to say, when you always the coolest things you will find in technology is when it's restricted. It's when there are actual physical limitations that some people are trying to overcome. So, like the best game design happened when developers were actually restricted by the memory they were coding for. That's when the best. That's when game design was best. The same way.
I think so too.
The same way best technology is always invented when we're like at the limit of what our hardware can provide.
And that's why the frame rates are different in different countries.
Yeah, 20. I do believe. Wait, Europe was 30, right? America was 20.
Yeah, they had
3
9.97. And they had different number of lines on the screen too. So America had a stupid weird 29.997.
I always remember that because it's always bugged me. Oh damn it! Nah, it's I was printing with orange filament before. Now it looks like I've just dirty Cheeto printer. Disgraceful, absolutely disgraceful. But yeah, this right here should be a proper skeleton. So let's test it now. See if all the distances are correct. Alright. I'm also recording this for the video. Anything you want to say, Tefta, in that video? On the second channel? The second channel is smaller than your main channel, so...
Electronics are fun, so be careful. It's addictive.
I like that. That's a perfect message, because the entire thing I'm trying to convey with those videos, tutorial videos, is that it's just all way easier than it seems. That's on... Like, genuinely, in order to get the OLED display to work, all I had to do was just plug in 4 cables, ground voltage data clock, then get a library from GitHub. Yeah, because you don't even need to write your own drivers. That's honestly not advised to write your own drivers. So get just a MicroPython library from GitHub, and then just run it, and it works already. It's all so much easier than people would believe. Actually, wait, no, I don't need nuts. All I'm trying to do is...
I gotta go. I gotta hop into a meeting.
I am glad you
Have
joined,
fun.
and have fun. See ya, bye. Have a good one. There we go. Oh, you're making a science video for the second channel? I am. Well, not quite science video. It's going to be more of a... That one is going to be more of an inventing channel, slightly. Well, you see. Kind of. Oh, for a second I was worried that these were not M2s. And I was about to flip out. Ta-da! Look at that. Lovely. Okay, so we got the sizes for the Raspberry Pi Pico correctly. I really wish I also printed the holes for the pins, but on the left appears, yeah, we'll manage. So that's the first one. Then the second one would be this, where unfortunately, shit. Okay, we need to open up the new one, because the new one doesn't have the pins. At the same time, the new one has a different holes out, whatever. I'll manage. I'm making the chemistry video for the main channel, because, you know, the main channel will still be the science videos. But the second channel will be more like, make it wacky inventions. I use it for only memes and art. Oh no, you're talking about a different channel. Well, if we wanna index it like that, I'm not making it for the second channel, I'm making it for the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 channel. If you wanna be pedantic. Alright, there we go, this. Did not know you had that many more. They're all linked on my main channel. I mean, to be fair, the red one only has... Most of them are dead, don't worry. You're not missing out much. Red one only has the skip, effectively. It was supposed to be like more artistic channel where I just make more, you know, fun-oriented movies. The reworkouts. Okay, in this case, I do believe that the holes, yeah, they're all going inwards. Which means we need to spread them out by like a millimeter. So spread them out by like a millimeter for the 7-segment display. That's the only thing we need to do. There we go. So we're not missing much. Let's man index and erase from 1. Does Lua actually index from 1? No, it doesn't. No, it does not. I refuse to believe that. That's not the real thing. Thought that stops us in our track. Ba, ba, da, 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 da. Am I living to my full potential? Or am I holding myself back? You stop with the perfection without analysis. paralysis. If you need some help to see, take it. Because Pluto can't take it. Pluto knows what Pluto is. Fortune, and you know Pluto knows it. You're about to see some masterful design work. Okay, there we go. Masterful design work incoming. Basically, $31, 2, 3, 4, 5. 35 to 30 over the span of over the span of 9. $35 to 30 over the span of 9. So 35 to shit. Never mind, I messed up ever so slightly. This has to go like this. $30 over the span of oh, sorry, you've got a problem with that. Yeah, because it's not gonna be a circle, is it? Ha, damn it. Alright, well, that's what I get for trying to do it in a satisfying manner. 9, fine. There we go. And then what we can do is we can just ellipse. No, let's do a spline. I always forget that you don't end the spline by double clicking. Right, there we go. Speaker, good enough. Make up now. I'll be in your time zone. No, Ash is approaching. About goddamn time, Ash. There we go. I like the coloring of your main channel being combination of your secondary channel colors. Thank you, Dark. I appreciate that. Not many people say that. I know, but the science channel has a wrong hue of blue. That's what I'll need to change about that. That's gonna be make it science channel. Okay. Anyway, you know what? I'm hungry. I'm so hungry I could chug my vat of sulfuric acid. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the opportunity of while stores are still open, because they soon will not be, to go and get myself some food. And in the meantime, I'm also going to, and then, I know, well, not in the meantime, only when I'm back, I'm gonna work on the more videos and such and such and such. I'll have to say, the 3 videos I'm working on right now, I'm excited for all of them, so that's a good sign. And for now, that'll be it. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day. Bye.